To make an announcement very shortly regarding the new information and physical evidence that we've received from the site and from other locations and through a couple of other complaints. We've had a very, very detailed group of people working on the 737-8 and the 737-9 new airplanes. We're going to be issuing an emergency order of prohibition to ground all flights of the 737 MAX 8 and the 737 MAX 9 and planes associated with that line. I've spoken to Elaine Chao, Secretary of Transportation, Dan Elwell, Acting Administrator of the FAA, and to Dennis Muhlenberg, CEO of Boeing, and they'll be available shortly after our conference today. They are all in agreement with the action. Any plane currently in the air will go to its destination and thereafter be grounded until further notice. So planes that are in the air will be grounded. If they're the 737 MAX, will be grounded upon landing at the destination. Pilots have been notified. Airlines have been all notified. Airlines are agreeing with this. The safety of the American people and all people is our paramount concern. Our hearts go out to all of those who lost loved ones, to their friends, to their families in both the Ethiopian and the Lion Airlines crashes that involved the 737 MAX aircraft. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Boeing is an incredible company. They are working very, very hard right now. And hopefully they'll very quickly come up with the answer. But until they do, the planes are grounded. And you'll be hearing from the FAA directly in a little while. I would say probably in 45 minutes from now. So you'll be prepared to hear. They're going to go into great detail as to what they found and where we're going, what we're doing. But all of those planes are grounded, effective immediately. Okay?
John Yang.
Let's look further at this decision and its impact with our own Miles O'Brien. So, hello, Miles. Tell us, first of all, what is this new information that came out overnight?
Well, Judy, it's interesting. It's a direct outgrowth of the loss of MH370 5 years ago, the 777 that left from Kuala Lumpur and was lost and remains lost. There was a mandate to the airline industry to come up with better tracking capabilities. A company called Ariane, in conjunction with Flight Tracker, developed some of this capability and has brought it to market. And this gave the FAA and anybody who could look at this data a much more granular look at what happened to that aircraft after it departed. And that gave them, as they put it, the fidelity. Presumably that matched up pretty closely to what we saw in October with the Lion Air crash, and that left them with this decision. So
you're talking about a satellite image of what happened to the plane between the time that it took off and it crashed. Yes, a more detailed image that gave them much more specificity about what that aircraft was doing in its short flight. Now, the FAA official, Miles, also cited evidence on the ground. Do we know what that's a reference to? They were not specific on it. Maybe there was something in the wreckage which might have caused them to pause. The nature of the crash, the fact that it apparently came in almost exactly perpendicular to the ground, nose, going fast and nose down.